All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Ravens flock. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are enjoying your day. It's been a while since I've had some Ravens talk, I haven't really talked about the Ravens that much. We are in the off season, not that much to talk about. Plus, for me, I'm too busy with the NBA playoffs. My Miami Heat are currently in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 4 tonight. We're 2 wins away from the NBA Finals, so I'm so zoned in on basketball right now that I just haven't been talking about, the Ravens. Not to mention, there's not much to talk about. Some good news, though. OTAs do start this week. In fact, I believe it starts tomorrow. The OTAs will be available or open to the media on Wednesday, so we'll get to hear a couple people talk. We'll probably discuss that this week. But yeah, OTAs do start this week, and at that point we'll just start to slowly inch closer and closer, because you have the OTAs, then you're gonna have mini camp at some point, and then at that point you take that break, and then training camp starts right around the end of July. And once training camp starts, then we are truly back. So we'll see what happens, bro. We'll see what happens this week when it comes to OTAs. We'll probably get some interesting talk. Obviously, it's not like there's going to be a lot of things happening here. It's going to be basic workouts, but it's just good to have the guys come back and get themselves slowly re-engaged into football. Off season slowly coming to an end. That's great. But we're not here to talk about OTAs. We will wait and see what we get this week. We will probably be discussing it, especially Wednesday, once we hear from whom. I think it will be Harbaugh and a couple other people. Whoever we hear from when the media gets an open presence, we'll talk about it then. This video is about something else. It's about one specific individual, my main man, first round pick, last year's draft, our number 1 receiver entering this NFL season, one Rashod Bateman. Rashod Bateman was on Marlon Humphrey's show, Studio 44, which is a banging show. And Humphrey was interviewing homeboy here. By the way, Humphrey's got some nice interviewing skills. Humphrey can do a lot of things, man. That man is very talented. He is very talented. Please, Humphrey, never leave Baltimore. I'm begging, bro. Never leave us. Never leave us. We love you here. Never leave Baltimore, Humphrey. So yeah, Marlon Humphrey had Rashod Bateman on the show, and they had a lot, they were going into multiple topics. I'm not going to get into those topics. It was a good episode. Go check it out yourself. But Humphrey brought up one specific topic that was very interesting and caught my and pretty much every other Ravens fan's attention. He brought up the whole Hollywood Brown situation. So Hollywood Brown gets traded to the Cardinals. That's one less guy in our locker room. A key weapon for Lamar Jackson now gone. Rashod, what's your reaction to that? And Rashod Bateman gave a really great answer that the Ravens flock loves. He saw that and said, yeah, man, that's another one of our guys we're losing. I love him. That's my brother. But when he ends up getting traded, my mindset in that moment is, it's my time now. Baltimore drafted me for a reason. They brought me here for a reason, and it's time for me to showcase what I can do. And I love hearing that from Rashod Bateman, because Bateman showcased some of those abilities in his rookie season. Last year, man, he had the first 4 or 5 catches of his career were first downs. It was like every time this dude was catching a pass, he was moving the chains. That Chargers game, he was showing some nice abilities. And throughout the rest of the season last year, he was showing some abilities. He wasn't getting that many opportunities. And it was unfortunate. Obviously, Lamar went down against the Browns last year, week 14. That was unfortunate. But man, Bateman showcased some abilities. And if he could truly showcase all that talent and take that great step, set year 2, and really be that true number 1 receiver, we may have something special on our hands. I'll say this though, Rashod Bateman has the tools to succeed. He's got the footwork, he's got the route running, he's got the catching ability. He has the tools to succeed. He has the tools to be that number 1 receiver for us. Not to mention, he's been working out with Lamar Jackson and practicing with him during the offseason. I love watching these two work out together because they're building chemistry. A quarterback building chemistry with a guy that's going to be his number 1 receiver, that is what you want to see as a fan. So these two building up chemistry is something nice to see, and I hope they continue to work out and have these sessions together and just continue to build that chemistry between these two, because If that can work out, then this season they can make some really great plays. We need Bateman to take that next step and be that number one receiver. Now, of course, for me, while I do love the talent on our receiving core, I've spoken on this. Duvernay's going to get more opportunities, and I feel like he should, so I'm happy to see that. Prochet will get more opportunities, which is something I really want to see because he showcased some abilities. I don't think he's going to be some major top guy, but he can definitely contribute to this offense and be a playmaker for us. And of course, Tyler Wallace will also get an opportunity as well. So we've got some nice young pieces here that could potentially, be a contributing factor in our passing game. But at the same time, while I do say this, I want Baltimore to pick up a veteran receiver because just having that guy that has that experience, it can do wonders for our locker room. It can do so much wonders. If you can get a veteran receiver, it will change the scope of this receiving room because that person's going to have experience. Now, of course, the number one name that will come up in this situation is one Julio Jones, who is still available. I don't know how that situation is going to go, but Baltimore, it seems like they're looking to add a receiver because now that you lost Hollywood, you may want to add one. The receiving room isn't exactly the best right now, so you may want to look to add a veteran guy. Not to mention, you just want to have a veteran receiver in your locker room in general. It can't just be a bunch of young guys. You want to have at least one or two veteran guys in your receiving room to help these younger guys. And Julio Jones can do that for us. Now, this is not me saying we should go out and get Julio Jones. I'm not here to talk about that in this video. But, yeah, Julio Jones is available. Ravens could also, trade for a receiver, but I don't know if they're going to do that at this point, I threw out DK Metcalf. I threw out Deebo Samuel. We all talked about the potential bringing these two guys out. I also talked about Terry McLaurin, and I said you could try to bring him in as well if you could trade for him. We've talked about this, but at this stage, I don't think Baltimore is going to trade for a receiver. They're probably going to pick up one of the guys that are still available in free agency, which has pretty much led everyone to believe it's going to come down to two guys, T.Y. Hilton or Julio Jones, and I'm not sure if that's going to work out. We'll see what happens with that, but yeah, you do have guys that Baltimore can pick up to bring in a veteran guy to help out this receiving core, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Rashod Bateman, he seems ready. He's got the mindset to take that role and be that guy and take that next step and truly be our number one receiver. He has all the tools to succeed. Now he just has to put it together alongside Lamar Jackson on the field this season, and they could be a nice duo. But we got to see it. We got to see results. I believe he can succeed, but I cannot 100% guarantee that. You just don't know. So once we see the results, that's great. He showed some flashes last year, especially in that Chargers game where he was just making plays, but we have to see it all come full circle. We have to see it come together before we can say, oh yeah, he could truly be our number one receiver. Now, he's going to be the number one receiver. He's going to take that role. Him and Andrews are probably going to be the two most targeted guys on our overall receiving core, but, we just got to see him take that next step. With Hollywood gone now, Bateman's going to take that number one receiving spot, and we have to see if he's going to thrive there, he's going to have a big performance, or if it's going to be a situation where he's productive, but he doesn't really look like a number one receiver. We'll just have to see, But I am glad to see that Bateman, the minute he saw Hollywood leave, he was like, my mindset's got to click in. I'm the number one receiver. It's my time now. Baltimore drafted me for a reason. Didn't really have an opportunity to showcase all my talents and skills last year. This year, I'll have the opportunity. I'm ready. I'm motivated. Me and Lamar have been working out. We getting it together, been building that chemistry, and we're going to go out there next year, and we're going to showcase what we can do. So I love him having that mentality and that mindset that it's time for me to go. I'm the number one receiver now. I got to go out there and deliver. I got to go out there and produce. Me and Lamar Jackson got to get it going. We got to build that chemistry and have us be on the same page come regular season. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm glad to see he has the mentality and he's ready to take on that number one receiving role. With that being said, I'm glad to talk about some Ravens, man. It's nice to take a break away from that, from the stress I'm dealing with the Eastern Conference Finals right now between the Heat and the Celtics. That one is a whole doozy, but it's nice to take a break away from, basketball or high-intense playoff basketball to talk about the Ravens in a chill environment. It's nice. But with that being said, that is all I've got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace!